keeps calling me so very close to you. Church me your slave.
Kiss 107.1 is WTLC Saginaw with Steve Harvey in the morning.
Mornings can't get no better. It's the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
It's simply the best R&B all day.
Y'all be jamming?
Listen live on your smartphone, in your car, at work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, connoisseur media, or its advertisers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. I hope your day has been blessed and your evening is going well. I'm here today for another hour of conversation. Today, we are going to talk about When They See Us. There's a movie that is titled by that. We're going to take that movie and kind of flip it, dice it, and talk about and turn it around on us as well. We know how they see us, but how do we see each other? I see you, we see each other. For those of you out there, I want you to like, tag, and share this conversation with those in your listening and friend groups. I'm excited to be here today on this beautiful Sunday evening. The smog has cleared up a little bit. It's crazy that we're here in Michigan talking about smog. I saw a reel that was talking about on Monday. We were worried about explosive diarrhea here in Michigan. Then on Tuesday, we were trying to survive record high hot temperatures, 105 degree temperatures with heat index. Then on Wednesday, we were trying to recover and live and avoid the air. All of these things happening here in Michigan. What a wonderful state. I love my home state. And my home city. So all of those who are listening to the Great Lakes Bay region, those who are in the great city of Saginaw, shout out to y'all. I love you. Hope things are going well. We're going to get into our show. But before we do that, I want to talk about what's on my mind. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Matt, a.k.a. White Soul. What's good, Matt?
Hey, what up, though? How are you doing today?
Man, I am doing great. How is your weekend turning out? How's your summer going, Matt?
Can't complain. Haven't really been doing much, hanging out with friends. What did I do this weekend? I went fishing, went down to Detroit for a graduation party for my one of my friend's little brother. Yeah, it's been a pretty good summer. What about you?
Man, summer has been great. It's been going so fast. Are you out there? Are you all feeling the summer is flying by? Because I promise you it is moving in warp speed. I'm trying to figure out what is going on with life. I'm trying to remember the meaning of life and all of that stuff, because summer, I seem like I'm going from Friday to Friday, and Fridays are getting here so fast. I guess it's better than going from Monday to Monday. I guess that means that I'm enjoying my weekdays at least. But I want to give a shout out to Jeff Wills. You're out there, man. Shout out to Cap and the block party. If it were not 129 degrees, it was hot as fish grease on Wednesday for the Cap Community Block Party, but it is a great part of my summer. It's one of those things when the 4th of July comes and the Cap Block Party comes, then you know it is a Saginaw African Cultural Festival that's coming a couple of weeks later, right after the Juneteenth celebration. Then it's the Community Unity Kickball Tournament. This just sets off a whirlwind of things that are happening in our community that I'm really excited about. So those of you who are out there, hopefully you are enjoying this summer, finding some time for reprieve and a break and all of those other good things, trying to get into out there and enjoy the weather. I know that the smog always causes issues, but what is really going on? Like California has wildfires where things just erupt and the entire side of the country is on fire. Lately, it's been north to us, Canada, that has been on fire, and we have been suffering along with them. I'm sure if it's as bad as what we have seen there, I can't imagine what it is there in Canada, and also when it happens in California. So my thoughts and prayers are with them, because this stuff is not for the faint at heart. Things have been canceled from church on Thursday, Bible study on Thursday. We closed down the office on Friday. Just things have been shut down because of these toxic clouds that we're experiencing or we're being exposed to because of those wildfires. But we're hoping things today was clear. Yesterday was a little bit clear. Hopefully we can get this under wrap where we can get back and enjoy our summer. We don't get very many days here in Michigan. It seems like just around the corner, the students are getting ready to go back to school. I'm going to bring Amaya in the stream. She's in the studio with me. And Amaya, just the other day, I happened to go on Menards. Menards is always, I don't know what they own, some kind of psychotropic or something. But I went into Menards the other day and I saw Halloween decorations.
Oh my goodness.
Does it make you mad when you go and they push you through these seasons? Time is already going at warp speed, and now they're pushing us Halloween decorations. I saw a Thanksgiving sign that was in a corner getting ready to be put up. What is going on?
That is crazy.
It's crazy.
But I've seen somebody put on Facebook, and it was like a viral post, and it was like, well, how do you guys already have Halloween decorations up? Can the kids get through school?
I mean, let alone, I was a little bit traumatized when I went into Walmart and they had pushed all of the back to school supplies like right in front center. I was sitting there like, oh my God.
Through the home side.
Yeah, but I'm just sitting there like, okay, oh my God. So immediately panic sets in. Summer's over, right? Summer is over. It is time. Pretty soon the buses will be coming out. Kids are waking up in the morning. The days are getting short. That's the thing that gets me.
Yeah.
I cannot wait till January 19th gets here. That's my mom's birthday. Happy early birthday or a belated birthday, whichever one to go. We're right dag in the middle. But January 19th, the days start getting a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And so when I look at where we are now, I'm waiting for June 22nd, 21st, 22nd. So we have that longest day of summer. Like after that, like every day
it just goes by like a whirlwind. It's just like.
So throw it in the chat. I don't know what's going on. Rose Coleman, she says she don't celebrate those devil's birthday. I don't celebrate the devil's birthday either. But the signs and the decorations and the costumes are already coming.
They didn't have fall decorations out. They just had Halloween decorations.
I promise you, in one aisle, it was back to school supplies, pads, pencils, folders, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then in the other aisle, there were Halloween decorations, and it is too much. Somebody tried to play me, and they say, when you get older, the days speed, and I do hear that that's true. However,
I'm not that old though.
Hello. So even the young people are feeling this, and so I need to know: are y'all feeling this too? Because it is causing me anxiety. I really am experiencing some level of anxiety because it seems like we just got the warm weather. We're halfway through the warm weather and they're trying to push us into fall. Anyways, let's enjoy the rest of the summer. We're going to talk about when they see us, but I told you I want to talk about what's on my mind. And there's a couple of things that I think the village needs to know. We don't pay attention to a lot of things. And so some people call and say, hey, Kareem, what are you going to be talking about today? And today I want to hip y'all to something that I hope that many of you start paying close attention to. All right. I need you all to pay attention to what's going on. We understand that this administration has shown us that they are for sale for the highest bidder, starting off with, a $500 million airplane from Qatar, from Qatar. I think that's the proper way to say it, to our president, which has now been retrofitted and set up because it has to have all of these security features. So another $500 million of our taxpayer dollars for that particular situation as well. We've seen the stock market going up and down. Now we've heard about Doge and what Doge is doing and the unfettered clearance that they were given to personal information, including information through the IRS. We've seen this. We've heard it. I think that there was a fake falling out of Musk and Trump so that he would have an exit strategy. to put that to rest. We now see this targeted playing and fluctuation with the market. We see that what's the name of social? What is the name of his social media stream? I can't think of it right now.
Twitter?
No, not Twitter. There's another one that he uses. So whatever the social media stream or platform that he uses, and it'll come to me in a second. We now see that this social media platform, which has not made any money, like has made a couple $1 million, right? Now is being targeted. This is his platform that he's going to utilize to communicate with people. Now they are selling to companies direct access, so you get the president's thoughts and feeds before they happen. So you can now plan stock market. True Social, thank you. I knew someone in the stream would give it to me. They are now allowing True Social, which he is 40% stakeholder owner in True Social, through a parent company. And so now we see that this government has been fully for sale. We've seen that, right? We've seen the people who have been in play, who've been put in positions and power. Now, this is what is alarming to me. We understand that I think Elon Musk was saying that in the next 20 years, it'd be more robots in the U.S. than there would be people, which is scary to me, right?
Yeah.
But also what we have seen, and nobody has been talking about, you all need to be aware of this. This administration has recently sworn in 4 tech executives as lieutenant colonels in our United States Army. Lieutenant colonel is like one of the top ranking officials. We have all of these folks who have been in the service serving. They start off as privates. They go through boot camp, that whole thing. They have literally jumped 16 ranks to be sworn in as lieutenant colonels. Let me tell you why this is important and why this is problematic. I'm going to tell you who they are. The CTO, Chief Technical Officer of Peter Thiel's company, Palantir. Also the Chief Technical Officer of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. OpenAI's Chief Product and Research Officer. And then the Chief Research Officer for a company owned by Sam Altman, all right? Now, this is important for us to understand. These individuals are one rank away from being generals in the United States Army. This is crazy because we do understand that Chief Altman's organization or his company OpenAI. They've been working on a major database that has largely been working. No, it's Palantir. Palantir has been working on a database that largely has been working with the information that Doge stole when they were running the Department of Government Efficiency, as if there were a thing, right? So now what we see is they have been put in these positions, in these colonel positions, top leveling positions. My uncle was a lifelong military. He served in the military his entire life. My brother gave a life career of military service. I have a number of individuals that have been just some time in service. So the military has been very important to Black communities. It's been one of the ways in which we were told that we could afford America. We could get the GI Bill and education and all these other things. And so now, for the first time, finally, we see that happen for many of our people in our community. But they are supposed to be working on targeted projects, targeted projects to bring tech solutions to complex problems. What in the world does that mean? That should alarm everyone who is an American citizen, that these major tech operators, tech officers have been given this level of, and it's really about security clearances, right? In order to have a security clearance, that means that you have to go through checks and balances, where you are, what are your background, who are you tied to? Do you have affiliations with foreign governments? All of the things that would be important for Americans to remain safe. Jeff Bull says surveillance on steroids. This is absolutely absurd. And I just don't hear anger about it. I think part of it is because we become jaded and we have said that this administration is going to do whatever this administration wants to do. And do we no longer have any fight in us? But what this means is that this has allowed these individuals, these 4 tech individuals. It allows them to jump over the security clearance path. So now they have access to top secret information, giving them this access to this secret information. I told you about what Palantir was already doing in terms of their building out this massive database with Doge's information. When we talk about Big Brother, when we talk about the government surveillance, and I don't understand, because Republicans have long been the party of, we want less government, we want more small business, we want less intrusiveness by government, less government surveillance, and we want really capitalism to operate, less government control. And here we see these 4 tech giants positioning their key individuals into these positions. Now, what does this mean? Jeff Bull says cyber wars. What this means is not only do they have information on the American people, that means all of your important information. And let's just be real. At this stage of the game, anybody who wants your information can get your information. The only reason they haven't had it is because they haven't wanted. Because the same people who are setting up these cybersecurity networks are the same people who go and work for these companies to break through the cybersecurity networks, allegedly, is the word on the streets. But this concerns me because now what happens when our clearances to hit the button? What happens when, and AI has already shown us that it will protect itself. There was one situation that occurred where a man was threatening to disable his AI and told AI to disable itself. AI overrode itself. It then created a narrative that this man was having an affair on his wife, and it positioned and wrote an article and sent this article to a publishing company to allegedly blackmail the programmer after it overrode it, so that individual could be moved out of the way. We are now in a place. We had been talking about this, where artificial intelligence, with all of its blessings, with all of the things that it brings to us, should cause some of you to have serious concerns. But it seems like we're just letting be whatever is going to be. Que sera, sera. In addition to that, we now see that these data centers are popping up all over the place. We are, the earth is hot. It's hotter and hotter and hotter. These data centers require a ton of money. I don't know if you all have paid attention to how little rain we've gotten. For a long period of time, in the spring, we got a ton of rain. It's like we haven't gotten rain. Each summer seems to be getting drier and drier and drier. And we need to figure out what's going on. How are these things affecting our climate, and what is going on? All right. Now, the other thing that I want to hip y'all to, and this is about the village out there. Those of you who are out there, it was funny. My girl, Jamil Hill, who is a graduate of the great Michigan State University, go green. When I was at Michigan State, we were there together, and she was working for the state news and the Lansing, I think it was the Lansing Journal. She was doing some stuff. But on campus, we had a newspaper, the state news, and she would work it and write and do stuff. Her and Larry Lay, shout out to my people. But she's now gone on. She is a political pundit. She has been on news. She does sports. She does all of the things, right? But she was talking, and she was sharing and just really blowing out of the water what is concerning voting. We are in voting season. The politicians have started visiting churches. They're showing up at events. They're doing all of the things because it is about to be full on time for us to cast votes. And so they're showing up, and they want you to know that, hey, I'm here for you. I am voting. We understand about the Electoral College. We understand. I was always told that the Electoral College was instituted because they thought American people were too dumb to really pick who should be voting. So they came up with a system that gave power based upon people representation. And so congressional areas receive power based upon the people that they represent. And so we come up with the Electoral College. Those numbers, I'm still confused. If you're confused about the Electoral College and how we get to that magic number of 260 or 270 or whatever it is on election night, join the party. I've tried to understand. I am still confused. But the fact of the matter is this about the Electoral College, and Jamil Hill was shedding some light on this. And I went back and I started reading some stuff, and I thought it was super duper important. The Electoral College didn't just count votes, it counted slavery. And what I mean by that is this. It was created. The Electoral College was created during the Constitutional Convention of 1786. Notice, we became a nation 10 years early, 1776, right? 1777 is when it's signed. So 1777, 10 years later, 1787, we have them coming back to convene, which was essentially, they were supposed to be looking at the nation's articles, right? They were looking at the Bill of Rights, the articles, those things. And what they ended up writing, in essence, was the Constitution. Hence, it became the Constitutional Convention. During this period of time, they also created a pathway by which we could make sure who rises to power, which we now know as the Electoral College. And this, what the problem was this, because slavery had now been abolished, but there was still a presence of slaves that were there. Slavery was not abolished. Slavery was still a thing before slavery had been abolished. And in this period of time, the South wanted power. And so what they were lobbying was, because we weren't considered humans, we weren't considered, anything. We were chattel. That meant we were property, not Americans. One of the first things that they do is they dehumanize you so that they can treat you bad. Yep. I don't feel bad for you, so therefore I can treat you bad. So what we saw was the South wanted power. So they wanted to count slaves as a part of the population. But there's like, how do we count a slave? What is a slave? It's a piece of property. And this is where we get that concept or that idea that we share, that blacks were considered 3/5 human, because the North didn't want to include slaves. Why should we include slaves? They don't have a vote. They don't have a say. They don't have any rights. They don't get benefits. They don't benefit in any way by the system. But the South understood that if they could use the people, the numbers of the slave, that could give them more power. So what they did is they said, we're going to count each individual that is a slave 3/5. They get 3/5 of a vote. They don't get the vote. But in terms of their congressional mapping, their district will get 3/5 of a person that's being there. So you're not a whole person, but we're going to give you 3/5. And the reason that they did this is because they did not want blacks to have political power, but they wanted the political power that they could amass by the population and the numbers of these slaves. And this is where we come up with, in history, for those of you who don't understand, it's called the 3/5 compromise. Slaves were counted 3/5 of a vote in congressional areas, and those areas got representation because of their enslaved people. Now, let me explain to you why this is important. Because the Electoral College essentially gave Southern states more power that shaped the framework of our nation. I told you that this was during the Constitutional Convention. So in this place, while we're talking about, all of these things that are important, we have now framed this more perfect union. We're going to do an edit on key things that are a part of the Constitution. They come in, hey, we're going to write a Constitution. This is going to govern us. During that period of time, it was established during the same time of the Constitution that we were only going to be worth 3/5 of a vote. So what does this mean? It means that they were keeping us from power while using us as political power. It means that many of the institutions, the infrastructure, the setup of this nation, many white folks hate when we talk about systemic racism. Not systematic. We got systematic racism as well, but we're talking about systemic racism, meaning that it is embedded in the very system. Yep. During the building of this nation, they were systematically and building a way to keep us away from power. Yep. And if it was that way in the very beginning, and the South now receives this power, a lot of the laws, the legislation, everything that would happen from this particular convention now shows us that this is the ideology and the framework by which everything in this nation has been framed. So when we talk about making changes to what is happening, we've done enough. We've never had reparations. We've never had a real conversation about making whole the African American descendant of slaves. We've never had conversations about what does it mean to really make attrition, make amends for treating a population of people wrong over and over and over again. But now suddenly we're all equal. We got to wake up and smell the coffee, y'all. And we got to stop worrying about the next line dance, the next hustle, the next field hustle, whatever, cowboy hats and all of that other stuff. And we've got to tune into what is happening in the political scene. We've had situations where people want to choose who we're going to vote for. We've had situations where we are considered as a part of the pool as a viable candidate. And so now it's time for us to really begin to realize that if there is going to be change, it's going to happen in the system in which has been rigged. Now we hear this conversation about systems being rigged, the vote is rigged, because what do you think that they're doing? They're rigging the vote. It's important, community, for us to tune in, for us to get involved. People says your vote doesn't matter. Your vote matters now more than ever. We have to mobilize. We've got to talk to everyone in our community, knock on your neighbors' doors, get them registered to vote. That needs to be the heartbeat of our community. Where are the organizers for those? Why are we waiting forever to get people registered to vote? Let's get them registered, because if we get them registered early, we can then empower them with information, sharing stories like this to allow them to understand the thing that they don't want you to do more than anything else is to vote.
Yes.
We equip them with this information. We show them that the vote is power. And then when it's time to cast the ballot, we rock the vote. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Amaya's going to give us some inspiration. We'll be back with more of Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Get your early bird tickets now. Platinum Creations presents the first annual Southern Soul Lawn Gym Festival with TK Soul. Saturday, August 15th. Bella Vista and Saginaw. Tony Amati, the Indian All Dance Group. Nelly, Tiger Travis, Miss Lady Blues, and the Hustlers on the Move. Gate swing wide open at 3 p.m. Bus ride and vendor info 989-759-9191. Tickets also available at the Platinum Event Center at Music Planet and Eventbrite. Get your $40 early bird tickets now.
Nobody builds a business without hearing a few reasons it won't work. Too risky, too crowded, too ambitious. But the people who move things forward usually hear those words first. Because growing a business takes more than optimism. It takes nerve, and eventually, a partner built for what's next. That's Next Rodeo. Big thinking, proven creative. For businesses still moving forward. Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want. Meet us at thenextrodeo.com.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How did you get 30, 30, bid you get 30, bid you get 20, 20, 20, bid you get 20, 20, bid you get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. Offers vary by user and location. Go to Upside.com for terms and details.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com helps you save money on services, trips, entertainment, and more. Get deals to area businesses like I Love Frankenmuth, PD's Dugout, Northeast Outdoors, and Evermore Tattoo Gallery. Plus, half-off savings to many more local restaurants, events, and more right now. We feature a new deal every week, and quantities are limited, so visit RocketGrabPlus.com to get yours today.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
This is Kareem. We're back with more of Straight Talk. For those of you who are out there in social media land, we're going to get into some morning inspiration, this evening inspiration with Amaya. She's going to bring us a moment of inspiration. Maya, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I have something for you on today. No matter what this week looks like, remember this: your story is being written. Every setback is an opportunity for a comeback. Every challenge is preparing you for something greater. And every new day is another chance to become the person you were created to be. Don't let fear convince you to stay where you have grown. Believe in yourself, walk in confidence, and keep moving forward even when the path isn't perfectly clear. The world needs your gifts, your voice, and your light. Today, choose your courage over comfort, faith over fear, and purpose over excuses. Keep showing up, keep believing, and keep making things happen.
All right, there you have it. Amaya, your Make Things Happen girl. All right, I want to talk about, and I know some of you have seen the movie. Hopefully all of you have. If you have not, go, and you can probably still watch it on Netflix. There were a couple lawsuits that came back. The prosecutor didn't like how he was depicted. There was a donation of some sorts. But there was a movie that Ava DuVernay wrote, How They See Us, DuVernay, When They See Us, excuse me, by Ava DuVernay. Her name is a tongue twister sometime when you put these words together. Ava DuVernay wrote a movie, When They See Us. And this movie, it was a powerful movie. It was a critique of the systemic racism. I told y'all it was systematic and systemic. The systemic racism and a condemnation of how American justice system dehumanizes Black and Latino individuals. The 4-part series tells the story of the Central Park Five. Y'all know the Central Park Five, yes. The 5 young men that were accused of raping said white woman in Central Park. Where your president took out a full-page ad talking about throwing the book at him, that whole piece, those Central Park. These innocent teenagers who were declared innocent and finally freed after years. Antron McCray, Kevin Richardson, Yusuf Salam, Raymond Santana, and Corey Wise. They were coerced into falsely confessing to a 1989 assault and spent years in prison before being completely exonerated. Now, I remember this because in 1989, I was a junior in high school. It sounds way back. Or senior in high school, getting ready to graduate. And it's crazy because I remember this story like it was yesterday. So what Jamil Hill was sharing when she was talking about this is so super duper important. So they were forced into this situation. And when they see us, it speaks directly to the theme, challenging the audience and everyone to examine the following things. And I want to share these with you today. And we're going to have a conversation about this, about how we see each other and when we see us as well. All right. It talks about racial bias and preconceived narratives, highlighting how police, prosecutors, the media view these boys not as children, but as inherent threats to be locked away. Once again, I told you, if they can dehumanize you, then they can treat you however they want to. If they can see you as these threats, then they can't see you as children. Then it allows them to do and to continue in this narrative. So by treating them as criminals from the start, authorities disregarded the lack of DNA evidence and used intimidation to secure these false confessions. The next thing is the loss of humanity. I just talked about this. The series aims to strip away the sensationalized media labels that reduce these victims to one single horrific event. Instead, it demands that society look at them as humans, as sons, as brothers, as innocent teenagers caught in a corrupt machinery. And then lastly, the movie, When They See Us, it makes you the power, it takes into account the power of the observer. It places the burden of the audience, the they in When They See Us, to actively bear witness to the trauma that the boys experienced and suffered, and forces viewers to confront their own biases and acknowledge the devastating reality of the prison industrial complex. And what we need to understand is that prisons are big business, right? So a lot of what happened, Amaya, have you seen this movie?
Yes, I have.
What were your thoughts about the movie?
It was a lot to take in. It was so much to take in that is the sad thing about everything is you see a lot of these things still happening today.
Okay. So what we were talking about, I was getting ready to ask him, Amaya, did you see this movie for real? No, but what I wanted to take into consideration is that when we see this movie, what it does is when they see us, it shows you how they view us. It shows you, and when I say they, I'm talking about white America, and I'm not talking about every single white America, because every single white person is not this way, and every single black person is this way.
Yeah.
But there is a large contingency of folk who, when they see black Americans, when they see, especially young black men,
they get afraid.
They get afraid. They cross the street. They lock their doors. They do all of the things, right? We're currently looking at a situation which white America says, oh, no, it's not about race. We don't think it's those things. Black America with Nolan Wales, we're sitting here like, yo, this is crazy. These are the things that we talk to our kids about. We told our kids, be careful. Who you going with? Are you the only one? Don't be getting on no boat. Don't go in that water.
Yeah.
These are all things and fears. And I don't say that to say the parents should have known better, because they shouldn't. And where you live and how you show up depends a lot on how these things play out, right?
Yes.
And still, let me say, there is no definitive answer as to what went on. It just looks real weird, right? But what we need to understand is that there is a way that these systems and folks look at us, a way that they view us. Unless they've had real interaction and real time to understand some basic things about us, because what we learn every single day is that they have no idea of who we are as a people. They have no idea of what we value as a nation. They come up and they make it seem like all black folks, many people, that what we value are cars and this and that. And there are folks who are who value family and family connection. Black folks value family. That's why black men are the most present and involved group of men in their children's lives across every race. The statistics prove it. But there are narratives and the power of a narrative. And this is so important. We have to really make sure that we are standing up. And we don't have to perform for anybody. We don't have to prove for anybody. We just have to make sure that we are being the best we that we can be.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring up this idea of when they see us, because it talks about all of the triggers, the things that happen when they see us. Oh my goodness, a crime committed. There goes black people.
Yep.
Who are the likely suspects. And this is what this movie kind of captures. It makes us be challenged about who we see as criminals, who we think are good people, who the bad people are. And in doing this, the way that she did it, it challenges an individual to really consider all of your biases. What are the biases that we care? We all have them. Some of us have more than others based upon our historical and our community makeup, right? But I want to flip this conversation on its head. This movie really takes a look at how when they see us. But I want to ask another question. When we see each other.
That's good.
When we see each other, what do we see? And I often say this because it's important for us to understand that black people are not a monolith. That means that we are not one-sided. All of us are not this way. All of us don't eat fried chicken. All of us don't like watermelon. These types of things and these narratives that you hear concerning us. We also have these narratives in the community. I've been asking the question as we were talking about community placemaking, about how we have to, before we can build anything, we've got to be able to build each other.
Yes.
We talk about all of the things that we need in a community, but let me tell you what we need most. What we need more than anything else in our community is we need the ability to communicate effectively with one another.
Yes.
We need the ability to be held accountable. And let me tell you why that word is so important. We allow foolishness to take place in the village. And I always say the village. And when I say the village, you know what I mean. We allow people to operate in foolishness in the video. It's like the Emperor's New Clothes. The story of the Emperor's New Clothes was the fact that the emperor was walking around naked, but he had thought he had put on these tailored clothes, and he actually was walking around naked, and nobody would tell the emperor that he was naked. He walked around pridefully showing off these new garbs which did not exist, and everyone let him do it. No one took accountability because he was the king. They allowed him to go and to be what he was. I'm going to say this to our community. If we are ever going to be what we need to be, we are ever going to enter or return to a place that the essence of true village communication and building and connection takes place, we've got to learn the importance of accountability. That means that we've got to hold each other accountable. When people are talking crazy, we've got to challenge people to go to the people that they have issues with. When narratives are being stirred up and things being pushed out there, we've got to be willing to stand up and speak against. Don't come to me and say, oh, they said this, and then you want to come back to, what did you say while you were there?
Amen.
Did you stand up for what was right while you were there?
Yeah.
Or did you just sit there and let it go? Did you sit there and just let people say what they wanted to say? And I'm telling you, if you come to me with crazy, I don't have time for foolishness. I don't. I'm a person right now. I have more years behind me than I have ahead of me. It's crazy that I'm saying that because I'm so young. But the fact of the matter is, when you are a person who focuses on purpose, when you are purpose-driven, you have a purpose-driven life. They say small minds talk about people, medium minds talk about things, but great minds talk about ideas. My thing is, how can we make our village, our community better? What can we do to really build systems in our community that celebrate the rich heritage, the essence of who we are? The Saginaw African Cultural Festival, and I made sure I got it right for those who are out there, because they get it right. We used to say Black Arts Festival all of the time. Now it's a Saginaw African Cultural Festival. I'm sure it has always been, but we make sure we get it right now.
Yes.
How that's coming up, and it is a celebration of all things Black, right? It is about where we came from. King Amawali shares the history at the beginning of it. He shares how the African individuals were spiritual people that were tied and connected to the soil. We see this and we learn this, that we are connected to the soil. We talk about the things that we've overcome. We share the legacies and the life of the people that live before us. We talk about where we are. We celebrate the principles of what it means to be people of a community.
Yeah.
We talk about Nia. We talk about Kuja Kanjalia. We talk about all of these things that really shape who we are, how we think, how we move, right? And we've got to be willing to understand that we cannot, the spirit of the African Cultural Festival cannot be something that happens only on the first weekend of the month of August.
Yes.
When we talk about how we see us, we have to see us as individuals who are worth spending time, investing in relationship, building relationships that matter. We have to see one another as being valuable enough that we will address issues of concern. You are a part of this younger generation. So many battles happen on social media.
Yes.
And for a long time, we just said, that's what the young people do on social media. But what we see now are grown people perpetrating juvenile tendencies by carrying out beefs on social media.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say about that?
One I think is very one thing I think it is childish, and it's unnecessary. And like how you were saying, holding each other accountable. Let's pull those people to the side or inbox them like, hey, maybe you need to take this down. Take care of this as a one-on-one, as a conversation that you need to have with this person. You don't have to bring it out to social media. Bringing stuff to social media is putting everybody in your business, and it doesn't even have to be where everybody needs to be in the business.
Now, you said something. Now, Amaya, we had a conversation. I had to hold her accountable or something like, hey, you out here, you lead, you moving, you shaking. You got to be held accountable to this, right? So we do that. But it also means when you put things on social media, you put it in a public platform. That means that everyone on that platform now has the ability and the right to speak on your situation.
Yes.
And even if the situation were to be remedied, you have now invoked this craziness into a platform where we have to be able to find ways to build and to grow. Let's leave, let's say silly rabbit tricks are for kids. Let's leave the kids' games and the tricks to the kids. I'm going to ask the community, let's begin to hold each other accountable. What does that look like in real time? What that means is that if I come to you with some craziness, and I'm going to tell you that Dr. Doolittle is over there acting crazy, my first question is like, ooh, tell me what happened. Drop the T. That's not what we're doing.
Yep.
I'm not going to pull up a seat to your madness. Let's stop being trash receptacles to the garbage that people carry. But let's ask the question, did you talk to Dr. Doolittle?
Yep.
What did Dr. Doolittle say? If your answer is, I can't talk to Doctor, I ain't got nothing to say, then shut up. But what we do is we allow this, we sit there and like, oh, that's crazy. Well, I heard this and I heard this. And then we go right back to Dr. Doolittle and say that this person told us all this craziness. And I'm not just talking about situations that I've been privy to or have come to me. I'm talking about people bringing this stuff to me. I'm like, I'm a whole pastor. I am a man that has a responsibility to our community to make sure that we show up the best of us. Am I always that person? Absolutely no. My sermon today was less. We got to take the you out of the gospel because we are all trying to make it. We are all, none of us are perfect, but we're striving to a level of perfection, and it requires for us to be honest with each other. Now, this is what's crazy, is that we think what is happening on social media as being a real world. Social media is not a real world. And sometimes I feel like Saginaw ain't a real place. Saginaw is not a real place with some of the things that we see happening. But we've got to begin to, if you love your community, if you love your city, if you think that we have something worth fighting for, it's time for us to exercise accountability. Let's hold each other accountable. Let's challenge each other to stronger conversations. Let's address the issues before they become problems.
Yes.
Because the issues that we don't deal with today become the giants that we face tomorrow. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Not many things come with a lifetime guarantee. Cars? Nope. Computers?
Goodbye.
Not even cuckoo clocks. Now there's a new Michigan Lottery game that offers a lifetime of cash.
Hi, $1 Millionaire for Life ticket, please.
It's Millionaire for Life. Drawings are 7 days a week with a top prize of $1 million a year for as long as you live.
Guaranteed.
And there's a second prize of $100,000 a year for life. Play Michigan Lottery's new Millionaire for Life. One win
lasts a lifetime.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Looking for something fun to do this summer? From live music and movies under the stars to art walks, festivals, and family-friendly adventures, there's always something happening with Saginaw Celebrates Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. Discover free events all season long throughout downtown Saginaw and along the riverfront, where great music, local art, and community celebrations come together. Grab your friends, bring the family, make the most of every summer moment. Saginaw Celebrate Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. For a weekly lineup of events and for updates on the latest happenings, follow Saginaw Celebrate Summer on Facebook, and on Instagram, go to @ArtsSaginaw. Remember, from live music and movies under the stars to art walks, festivals, and family-friendly adventures, there's always something happening with Saginaw Celebrate Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's featured deal is to Saginaw Escape on Lapeer Avenue in Saginaw, where you can get half off a 4-pack admission voucher. Escape rooms are live-action, interactive games where you and your team must work together to solve puzzles, uncover clues, and complete objectives within a set time limit. At Saginaw Escape, they've designed themed rooms that bring stories to life for an unforgettable adventure. Get half off your 4-pack admission voucher before they sell out.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now, I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and details.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
This is Kareem. We're back with more of Straight Talk. We're here and we have been having this conversation, or actually I've been having this conversation with you. And I'm curious as to what your thoughts are when you think about the things that are important for the community to really deal with. There are a number of issues out there. I know there are some issues about accountability that we've seen arise as it relates to some things with this ARPA funding and all of these other funds that are going place with the pandemic. Basically, they're all funds that are associated or affiliated with the pandemic. There are issues of accountability, calling people to the carpet, calling people to be accountable for the decisions and practices and making sure that we do things in a very transparent manner. I am curious to those of you who are out there, what do you find are the most important things that we're not seeing in our community that are detrimental to our community, that the village really needs to understand? We often take a lot of time examining, how people view us and how they see us and how they treat us and the wrongs and the ailments. But I think that we also need to do a DNA test, on a litmus test on how we are seeing each other, how we are valuing one another. And what effort are we really doing to make sure that our community has everything that it needs? Amaya, when you hear us, you hear me have this conversation, you hear me on my soapbox, challenging folks to be accountable, accountability being one of those key things. What are other elements that you see in our community that are super important? We talk about collaboration, but then we don't collaborate. We talk about coming together, but then there's no unity. We talk about, making sure that we show up in spaces at council meetings and things of that nature, but then there is a lack of presence until the issues arise. What are the issues or key issues that you see that are important that aren't showing up in the community?
Well, one thing I can say, people need to put their pride to the side and just be. If you have a problem with somebody, like we said, just talk to them. Let's talk it out. Let's hash it out. Let's just be grown people that can be around each other and get along. We don't have to like each other, but let's get along. Let's have unity. Let's just be around so that we can grow as a community.
I'm going to tell you, back to something we talked about, the block party. What I loved about the block party, even in the presentation of the flyer, there was no imagery as to, it said CAP presents the block party, but everybody was there, right?
Yes.
People came together and were present for the community, providing resources and services and a whole heap of good time, right? There's also another opportunity. Eric from Twins, the barber, he is out there, and he was out there having a conversation, and people were chiming in, and I saw the conversation. He was like, why do we have 1 million different back to school events? And I'm sure y'all probably got 20 people planning them now. 1 million different back to school events all over the city of Saginaw, when we could really come together and really put our power, our energy, our resource, our time and talent together to do one. And so now there is this citywide, community-wide back to school event. There's a Stuff the Bus thing that's going to happen. If you've seen the flyer out there on social media, it is going to be circulating. I'll put it on Straight Talk's page. I'll tag some of you in it. But there's a citywide effort. I love when our community comes together. We are our best when we come together.
Yes.
And so now it's a Stuff the Bus. We're going to stuff the bus. We're going to put the bus out. It's going to be parked out in front of the police department right there. We wanted high visibility. So the chief said, hey, you can put it out here. Put the bus out there. You can drop off supplies. We want to pack it. We're not just saying school supplies, because we now understand that going back to school isn't just about paper, pads, pencils, and pens and rulers, but it's also about toiletries. It is about soap and socks and underwear, coats and shoes, and just all of those things, all of the things that kids need when they go back to school. Napkins, and I saw the list that the teachers send out to kids, and it's got packets of tissue and sanitizer. Really anything that kids would need to go back to school, we want to show up and show out for our kids.
Yeah.
The bus will be there beginning no later than this Wednesday, I believe. It will be there. Windows are open. You can go and chuck it in. There will be someone that will be assigned to open the door for you every now and then, but you can go and drop those supplies in the window. Organizers will go over, get those things together, organize. We want to stuff this bus. Saginaw collectively. It's not my thing. It's not Eric's thing. It is a community thing. I saw so many community leaders and organizers saying, hey, this is what we need to do. Let's put our money and our effort where our mouth is, and let's get out there and stuff this bus for these kids. Let's show our community that we can show up and show up strong when we work together. Let's show them how we see us.
Yes.
Right? They may have a difference of opinion. When they see us, they may think a certain thing, but when we see us, I want us to think all love. These are my people. I don't care. This east side, west side, north side, south side, this Saginaw High thing versus everybody else. None of that matters if we cannot effectively come together, build community relationships, build an opportunity, because we got to have relationships for change to happen.
Yes.
We've got to be willing to come together effectively to make great things happen. This is the end of our show for today. Get out there right in front of the police station, downtown Saginaw. The bus will be there, the big yellow cheese bus, school bus. Get out there. Let's stuff the bus. This coming weekend, Peachy Time is having Her Heart's in the Sky, a memorial museum for those families who have been impacted by gun violence in our community. It's all going down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, connoisseur media, or its advertisers.